Hey everybody, Steve and Caleb from Brownells here, and today we want to look at some Hornady ammunition that we get a lot of questions on.
We do, Steve, and we're talking about critical defense versus critical duty. So this video is going to be pretty short, but if you don't know the differences, it's going to be pretty darn informative.
Yeah, so you want to buy the right one for the gun you have and the use you want to put it to.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like either one will work in, regardless of what length barrel you have, but they are optimized for different ones. For example, your critical defense is optimized for your shorter barrel guns, like your SIG P365, your Glock 43s, different things like that.
Right.
Whereas your critical duty is the exact opposite.
Okay, okay. But with all the carry guns there with like 3-inch barrels out in the market right now, critical defense has got to be selling like hotcakes.
It is, and it's actually what I personally carry.
Yeah.
So critical defense is my go-to in pretty much all of my defense handguns. Even my full-size guns that I carry, that I keep in the home, I typically load those with critical defense as well. But critical duty does definitely have a place, and I'll just kind of open them up here. Steve, if you want to open that one up,
I'd be glad to.
Just grab one out of there so we can kind of look at it here. And that critical defense that Steve's opening up there, that is a 115 grain. And we're talking about 9mm here for this particular video, but this applies to every caliber that both of these are available in. So same thing with your 45 ACP and your 380 and all the other stuff there. But I'll just set them side by side here so we can kind of see. If you notice, the actual profile of the bullet is a little bit different, and the jacket colors are different too, because this particular critical defense has the brass case. You can also get that in a nickel case. It doesn't have to be the brass case. We just didn't have any for this video, or I would have picked the same ones. But so the critical defense here on my left, your right, is a 115 grain. And this critical duty is actually a 135. So it's a heavier bullet, it's a longer bullet, there's more propellant in that case, but the jacket on the projectile is also thicker, which is where the big difference comes in. Yeah,
yeah. They both have the polymer plug in the hollow point there, so it won't get plugged up with some soft material like, say clothing, for example. I know that's a reach, but
yeah. Yep.
Anything like that.
So your clothing, either like light leather, just any of that type of stuff, that plug is made for it to not get clogged, so that when it does hit soft tissue, it expands reliably and opens up. So it dumps all its energy into the target. But the difference there, so they both do that, but that critical duty, having that heavier jacket, and the plug in it is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You can't visibly see the difference in the plug, but it is different. As far as I think the depth it goes down is a little bit different, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But with that, it is more barrier blind to hard barriers as well. So if you were shooting through automotive glass or doors or things like that, like vehicles, then the critical duty is the one you would want to use, because it'll not only penetrate that, but then expand reliably once it still hits soft tissue.
Right, you'd probably want to shoot that out of like a 4-inch barrel or a 5-inch barrel.
Yeah, so like your Glock 19 and bigger, so Glock 19 is technically a compact, which is, just for size comparison, this is your Glock 19. It's still a shorter barrel as compared to the 17. Disregard the suppressor on here. But as you can see, it is roughly about an inch shorter, but it'll do fine in either a 19 or a 17 size. So your full size and compact. It's whenever you get into your subcompacts and then your like micros and stuff like that, is whenever that critical defense really shines.
Yeah. Now we've been just talking about 9mm, but you're not limited to 9mm with this ammo.
Right. Exactly.
So if you've got a 45 like that over there,
yep.
They've got 45 ACP. They've got 40 caliber even.
Yeah, who would have thought? 40 caliber still a thing?
And a big thing is 380. You can get
you
can get this in 380, which how many carry guns are there out there now made in 380 specifically?
Yeah, so the Springfield Hellcat, they make that in 380 now. They make the SIG P365 in 380 now. So I mean, 380 is still definitely a good option.
Yep, the bodyguards.
And
all those.
And the critical defense, I almost forgot, Steve, they actually make some light versions of it. So instead of a 115, it's like 100 grain. And then they make it even, they cut down the powder charge in that a little bit, so it's
Right.
even more reduced recoil.
So for indoor shooting, that'd be even better.
Yeah, and I also kind of want to point out here, you can use critical duty in one of these small guns, like I said before,
Yep.
but there are some definitely downsides to it. First of all, it's a lot snappier.
Oh, yeah.
It's not going to be pleasant at all to, and especially in a defense situation where you're trying to get as many rounds on target as you can, you're going to be more prone to not having good control over that firearm. So that's one reason I wouldn't carry critical duty in a very small gun. But the other reason is that it needs that barrel length. It's optimized for that
Yeah.
longer barrel
Yep.
length. So you run into a situation where you may underexpand and penetrate more than you would want to, because overpenetration is the real, like that's what makes critical defense shine, is how it does not overpenetrate. So it's the perfect like concealed carry, everyday carry ammo, whereas critical duty is more a special purpose type setup.
Yeah, so if you want the optimum performance, you want to match the load to the barrel length.
Yep, and
Sure.
that's all there is to it, Steve.
All right, well, if that's all there is to it, do you have anything for us? If you do, let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I guess we'll see you next time.